So one thing I've always admired about our friend group is that we've always had like the most diverse array of motorcycles. I mean, usually when we all get together, you've got, you know, me on a Triumph or a Goldwing, Jack in his Concourse or a Mule, some Hondas. There's always something. Today, my friends, nothing but Harley Davidson out here. We don't need none of that motorcycle diversity around these parts. Look at Jack, man. Jack is living up the role he has now adopted. He's got his boots on, he's got his chain wallet on, he's got his knife.
Hog's breath.
Hog's breath. That's right, man. I'm telling you what, this is fantastic. So it is now Sunday. This is 2 days after Devin, Boberfett, and Alana's wedding. Yesterday was the night we had at OCC. That was a lot of fun, and we're gonna go on a ride today to kind of. I know your zipper's down. Yeah, so my hair can blow in the breeze. I still do the ponytail. Rubber band. Yeah. Anyway, this ride's kind of like his celebratory "Hey, I'm married now" ride. We're still waiting on him to show up, but this is the venue that we had the wedding at the other night. Absolutely beautiful venue. It's way out in the middle of nowhere, but it's pretty. We were actually afraid we weren't going to be able to ride today because the rain looked pretty nasty earlier, and it's cleared up. Roads are dry, sky is dry, my zipper's down, ready to party, baby.
That might be kind of small.
Small.
All right, here we go. Put a bunch of dirty heathens out in the woods with some beer cans and Harley exhaust, and this is what you get right here. Oh, that one's still in there. No, that one was great, dude. Not all cocks are built the same. This is the biggest shuttlecock you've ever seen in your life. You guys want to touch my shuttlecock?
I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to play with it that much in front of people. You play with it that much, you're gonna break it.
Okay, new weight loss plan in effect. I'm gonna come out here and let the mosquitoes eat all of my blood, like 30 pounds of it, because that's pretty much what's been going on the whole time I've been out here. Okay, so we really didn't do a group ride. Well, I don't even have to say really. We did not do a group ride. By the time Devin got here, we decided to just kind of hang out and have cigars and drink beers. So Jack, Colleen, and I are going to River's Edge. You guys know that spot. So I've got this new mount. I don't know, guys. It feels really weak. I don't know if I'm going to trust that or not. I really don't. I need to figure out something. I don't know if this is going to be a long-term solution or not. This is not the Ram branded mount. It's some off-brand, but like when you tighten it down, it feels like it holds really well. But all it takes is a little, when you to where it's ready to just pop off. So I'm just afraid, you know, the vibrations of this 100% no parts ever made anywhere but the United States of America machine, you know, if that's going to impact. I like these roads back here, man. Had somewhat of a group out there, and ends up just being me, Jack, and Colleen. It seems like that's a very common theme on the channel. I don't mind that at all. I consider those two probably my best couple friend, if that makes sense. I think Jack's become one of my best friends. Yeah, he's been there for me. I've been there for him. It's the best friend to do, right? Not trying to get sappy or anything. Obviously, Colleen is always right there. Her and the wife get along real well, so why not? You know, well, my wife and I haven't had couple friends, like, in a very, very long time. Yeah, River's Edge, here we go. Through the back country of whatever county we're in. This is back country Florida. This is the you ain't from around here area of Florida. We're definitely here. Got some great news. This video is going to come out while I'm already in Tennessee. I'm riding this motorcycle, and unless something disastrous happens between now and the Sunday before Thanksgiving, I am riding to Tennessee the Sunday before Thanksgiving. On the Friday after Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, I have every intention of riding over to Virginia, doing the tail of the dragon, either on the way there or on the way back. I really don't care. Hitting up both Carolinas. Oh, rumble and roar, baby. I just want to hit a few more states. While I'm already north on the motorcycle, why not make a tour of it, right? When I was talking about this plan, a little bit ago. Jack has now made plans. I really hope nothing happens. I hope the plans don't fall through. Jack's going to ride up to his friend's house in Tennessee on Thursday of Thanksgiving, hang out with them for Thanksgiving dinner, ride over and meet me on Friday. We're going to tour the eastern, the Appalachian Mountains together. I do expect it to be plenty cold, so that's why I'm kind of nervous about is riding the tail of the dragon at the end of November the most prudent decision, because I already know in the mornings it's going to be in the upper 20s, low 30s. On another note, on the way out to the property that I was just at, I was not recording the whole way. I just kind of wanted to take an hour to myself and just listen. You guys know I always talk about how I listen to music when I ride. So no cameras. I learned very, very abruptly that this motorcycle does not have ABS. You guys in the comments on the last time I talked about I-4, those of you who are familiar with it agreed with me, because you know I-4 is dangerous stretch of freeway in the entire country, I think. Sure as shit, man. I had a cruise control at 80. I was not following too close to anybody, but the car two in front of me slammed on their brakes and jerked off to the left and missed somebody. Like traffic was backed up. You didn't see that beforehand? Anyway, that caused me to slam. I was skidding so. Oh, I had a butt-puckering moment. So now I'm actually going to look into ABS, like install it. And I know these bikes are typically pre-wiring harnessed for things like the security system and ABS. I just got to find out what I got to do. Maybe it's not worth the hassle. Maybe it is. I don't know. I just assumed that all modern motorcycles, and I consider a 2014 a modern motorcycle, I just thought they all had ABS by now. And this one apparently does not. So, yeah, so next Saturday before I head out for Thanksgiving, I am going to do a 3-hole oil change. I have seen the engine oil and I've seen the transmission oil. They look fine. Problem with the primary, as you know, I don't think there's a way to check it. So the only way for me to know that it's good is if I just do the oil change. And if I'm doing the primary oil change, I might as well do all three. Yeah, that's a little pricey to do. I just don't know. I want to make sure I know, hey, these oil changes have been done before I head off. I mean, that trip could end up being 2,000 miles in that little period of time. So I just want to make sure we're good to go. I'm sure you can appreciate that. I would like to get different highway peg. I tried to show you on the video where I test rode it, but I'm having to adjust the camera angles. So this guy bought these. Those are the Harley Davidson cheap ones. I just really can't, I need them to be back a little further. And these, the only thing I can do is I can twist it around, but that makes the foot peg point at me. I don't really want that. Yeah, I don't like this angle. I want it like my knees locked. I don't want that. So I want to get some. Actually, I might try to rotate it and see how that works, but I did find some like Jack has on his up there. I don't know if you can see that or not. And I thought those were Harley brand ones, like a better one, but no, they're Amazon, $50. Anyway, boys, I'm going to get on down the road, listen to some tunes. We'll see you up at River's Edge.
I can't tell you for sure if I've ever done a food review at River's Edge. I've only ever had wings here, I think, but this time I got a burger.
Yeah.
This is superb.
Superb.
I gotta take these onions off though. They're a little bit potent. God damn. Well, I didn't record much here because I'm hanging out with friends. Good day, good weekend with friends. It was another one of those busy weekends. I'm kind of glad I took last weekend and did nothing. It kind of let me refuel this one. But we're gonna head out of here soon. Everybody's kind of wrapping up. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I think I might be on Shay's live stream. She asked me yesterday, but I have to decide if that's something I want to do or not. Maybe. We'll see.
All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Trying a couple new things on today's vlog. For one, we're starting on the motorcycle instead of in the garage. Secondly, if you watched the last video, I think that's going to come out, I don't know, Monday the 21st or something. I had this clamp on here that kind of similar to the one that came from the Ram. I really didn't like how that felt. Like I had it, I cinched it down all the way and it felt really tight. But then when I went to remove it, it didn't take much at all to pop that off. So it really made me nervous. Two, it didn't really have an easy way to get it on and off. But one of the things I really like doing on the Goldwing, I could only do it on the Goldwing, was using this clamp here, this GoPro clamp, to take it off the dash and get some surrounding shots. I think some of you guys appreciate that. I think some of you probably don't care one way or the other, but I like being able to do it. So getting this clamp back on the handlebar from GoPro is going to help me be able to do that when I'm traveling. It is a little more wobbly than what I would like, but I think the image stabilization from inside the camera is probably going to compensate for a lot of that. So what are we doing today? I'm on my lunch break, so I'm going to zip out to Harley-Davidson real quick and grab some materials to do a 3-hole oil change. And for the first time, I'm going to be using the AmSoil product line. Oh, some of you guys are probably going to be high on your heels telling me that's the best oil ever, and others might say, oh, don't ever use that shit, use Sin 3. Well, I'm going to try it. I've got enough friends, people who I trust, who recommend it, so we're going to go with it. So while I wasn't searching for it specifically, I came across a 3-hole video by a guy named John Maxwell, which I'm sure a lot of you guys already heard of. He's got a lot of great information out there, especially if you're a Harley-Davidson kind of guy. And a lot of subscribers, a lot of videos. I noticed he stopped uploading videos about a year ago, maybe a little more. So now I'm curious, is he okay? Did he just stop posting videos or something happened to him? If you guys know, leave me a comment below. That's kind of concerning because it seemed like he was enjoying what he was doing. But anyway, he started talking about how he doesn't really see the sense in putting engine oil inside of gear casings like transmission or primary. And that makes a lot of sense to me. I got to be honest with you, the very first time that I used Sin 3 for a 3-hole oil change back when I had my Road Glide, I was a little hesitant to fully buy into that at first as well. So I like the idea of buying this AmSoil 3-hole. It's not a kit necessarily. It's got the engine oil. I'm getting primary fluid. I'm getting transmission fluid, oil, gear, whatever, gear oil, whatever you want to call it. So I feel a lot more comfortable doing it that way. I'm not a master tech, master mech, or any of that kind of thing. I do like using things that are designed to be put in the hole that I'm putting them in. So after listening to my buddy Crazy Cooter actually recommending the AmSoil, he was the first one to talk about it. I looked on the AmSoil site to find nearby dealers, and believe it or not, not all, but one of the Harley-Davidson dealers in my area is an AmSoil dealer, which is kind of eyebrow-raising because they sell their own lubrication products. Why would they outsource a third-party lubrication means in their shop? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but they carry it. Now, I'm paying Harley-Davidson dealership prices for these. I can get them a lot cheaper if I ordered from AmSoil directly, but I'm on a time crunch. Today is Tuesday, and on Sunday, I'm heading up to Tennessee for the Thanksgiving week and then some other stuff that we have going on. I want to get all this done, before this weekend when I leave, so I want to make sure I have time to do it, run it around, make sure everything looks and feels okay. So I'm willing to pay some kind of the Harley-Davidson dealership prices. The good news is we have a local friend, Jenna, who works at Brandon Harley-Davidson, so she's helping me out with her discount. Also this week, I've got to decide soon. I'm going to decide if I'm going to go ahead and buy some soft lowers or something. Because I'm going to a town called Blaine, Tennessee. That's where my dad lives. I'm from East Tennessee originally. And I'm looking like on Monday, this coming Monday, the 21st. It's supposed to be a low of 19 degrees on Monday, the 21st, and a high of somewhere in the mid-40s. It's also supposed to rain a couple days that week. I'm really, really, really hoping it doesn't rain on me on Friday and Saturday, because those are the days that I'm heading out of Blaine, Tennessee, and heading over to the Tail of the Dragon, North Carolina, South Carolina. Jack is also meeting up with me. Anyway, I'm going to get on down to Brandon Harley-Davidson and pick up my not Harley-Davidson oils so I can get working on this 3-hole oil change before Sunday. We'll see you down there.
I feel like I'm on a mission now to see how many Harley-Davidson dealerships I can go to now that I have a Harley. We have 4 at the area, so 5 maybe. We do hang out here sometimes at this little Red Star Live place. Nice little bar. Harley-Davidson dealerships typically have decent bars attached to them, if they have them at all. Restaurant, whatever, if you don't drink, that's fine. Let's go in and get our oil. All right, Harley says distribute weight evenly. across the 2 bags. I guess we're gonna see how this goes. It's all my oil and shit. I probably could have organized it better, but good enough. All right, y'all, welcome back. Today is now Thursday. I'm on my lunch break. I'm gonna hurry up and knock out this oil change real quick in the hour that I have for lunch. Like I mentioned before, I bought all AmSoil this time. I'm gonna have almost an entire quart more of the primary fluid than I need, because for some reason they made the 103 where it requires 38 ounces. Good news is I'll have plenty of extra for 2 or 3 more changes down the road. I just bought the motorcycle last week, and I'm certain that they did a service. I believe them that they did service on it before they put it out for sale, but for my own peace of mind, I just want to know. So that way there's no question as I'm going down the road if my engine, transmission, or primary is going to grenade from lack of lubrication. My own peace of mind. All right, I got the oil and transmission side done. Now I got to do the primary. If you notice, the light is way different. Ran into a problem. What would a Mike Branch maintenance video be without some sort of a problem? I used to have the oil filter wrench for this oil filter, but after I got rid of the Road Glide, apparently I tossed it. So I know you can use a screwdriver. I've used plenty of screwdrivers before. I actually also have the channel lock style oil filter wrench. The problem is, I got these oil cooler lines here. I don't want to damage those. And without getting the end cap style oil filter wrench, it would just be too risky. I just called Tampa Harley. They're 5 miles away. I can just run down and get one real quick and change that filter out. I just want to share that I am really, really glad that I am doing my own oils. So far, the engine and the transmission have looked great. The primary fluid looked new-ish. Like it was still a little bit, see-through, but only about half a quart came out of there. And that primary calls for 38 ounces, which is 1 quart, 6 ounces. Not enough. Not enough. So, again, peace of mind, exactly why I do it the way I do it. All right, fam, today is Saturday, the day before I'm heading to Tennessee. And the theme of this week, all week, has been making sure I get the bike ready for the trip up to Tennessee, but some things have come up, and might be a slight change of plans, which I don't know if that's going to throw off this video or not. It might. Who knows? We'll talk about it more on the way to run some errands.
All right, boys and girls. Oh, what has changed? Well, I'm still going to Tennessee. That's been the plan since February, and since that time, I have been planning on riding a motorcycle up to Tennessee, and it has been the Goldwing this whole time, but now that I have the Road King, obviously transitioned into that. I have changed my mind about riding, and I'm very disappointed, not in the decision, but because this trip, I've been planning this trip for so long. This is something I really, really want to do. The problem is, at this time of year in East Tennessee, it is typically a diurnal temperature range between 40 and 60 degrees. Those are temperatures that, sure, just a little warm, you're fine. For some reason, it has gotten unseasonably cold. It's ranging between 20 and 40 degrees. Some of you guys are really going to give me a hard time about it, whether you type a comment or think it inside. I know that's just how it is. One, I don't really have cold weather gear, and I don't make a lot of cold weather trips. And I don't know that it's worth the investment for a single trip. That's one big thing. Okay. Number 2, when we get to my dad's house tomorrow night, it's going to be about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and it's going to be 25 or 26 degrees. That's really, really cold. If you're from up north and you ride in the cold, that shit cuts you. It feels like an actual knife cutting you when you're riding in those temperatures. I talked to my dad for a little while yesterday and asked him, hey, what's the precipitation looking like up there? Has it been raining? Has it been snowing? Is there frost on the ground? Keep in mind that even though it's been in the low 20s to upper 30s to mid 40s, whatever, that the humidity up there right now is still like 89%. So he confirmed there's frost on the ground every morning. And if there's frost on the ground, on the grass that's visible, guess where else it is? It's on the roads. Where my dad lives is a town called Blaine, Tennessee. It's East Tennessee. It's northeast of Knoxville, several miles. And there are a lot of steep hills and a lot of very sharp curves, and sometimes they coincide with each other, and most of the time there are no guardrails. You might call me a bitch for not riding in the cold. I really don't care. I still have the likelihood that I'll be riding in some sort of ice at some point. And that just doesn't sound like a safe decision to me. Especially, I'm thinking about Friday when I'm thinking about leaving my dad's house to go up to the mountains. Some of these really, really nasty curves and hills are going to be downhill. And if I can't stop on two wheels, I'm just off. I'm off the edge. So I just don't think it's a smart idea. I don't think it's something that I want to risk. That Friday, it's also supposed to be raining. I keep checking the weather forecast, both in Blaine, Tennessee, and in Robbinsville, North Carolina, which is essentially where I would end up after riding the Tail of the Dragon. And it's like 70% chance rain all day, and it's, mid 40s. And, some of you guys might just want to do that just for the hell yeah of doing it. And I'm normally all about some hell yeah good times, but there's nothing about that sounds fun to me at all. And I'm not really going to apologize for that because I think this is the best decision for my own safety. And admittedly, I got no problem calling out my faults where they are, because I ride in Florida and came up on street riding in Arizona. I don't have much experience riding in the cold. I have ridden in 20-degree weather before, but it was in Arizona where it's very dry. So there's not really any chance of ice on the road, and it's flat and straight, and that's a whole different ballgame than riding these hills of East Tennessee. It really is. A couple changes here on the dashboard, on the user interface I want you to notice. I did go back to the GoPro Claw, and I forgot I had this neck that comes with the claw. I just haven't used it on the Goldwing since the Savannah trip last November. I think this is going to work out better for me. One, I still get the angle that I want back at my face. Two, it's not dead center like it was on the Goldwing. And three, I can still take it off of the bars to store it so I don't have shit all over the place. And I can still get those riding shots that I really enjoy getting. I know a lot of you guys like it. Some of you might not. I don't care. But and then this cup holder that I showed the other day, I have already marked this for return, and I'm getting the Zero big ass cup holder because the coffee cup that I like to use, it's not a Yeti, it's another brand that has a closed lid on top. It's very, very tight in here, and while I'm riding, I really don't want to struggle with pulling a cup out of the cup holder. You know what I mean?
Morning from Blaine, Tennessee. I almost called this home, but I know we're a very transient society over the last several decades, and a lot of people will always refer to where they came from as home. I don't always subscribe to that. Like for me, I moved from here, East Tennessee, to the Marines and traveled all over, settled in Arizona for a long time, and once I moved to Florida in 2014, I 100% adopted it. That's home. Home is where your heart is. But this is where I came from. This is where I grew up. And the sun's going to be in the camera, but would you just look? Look at that. Off in the distance there behind those trees, you can see the outline of the Smoky Mountains. These are the kind of views that I was privileged enough to grow up in, man. We're at my dad's house up here in East Tennessee. We didn't come up with horses. We came up with cattle, actually. But he has turned himself into a horseman, actually world-renowned horseman, believe it or not. His name is Mike Branch, and he technically rides, so he could also be a Mike Branch rides, except the older version. He's got my son and my grandson out there. They're feeding the various wildlife. Dad has multitudes of deer and turkeys and all kinds of birds that come through here. He does hunt, but not on his own property. He said he'd rather see the wildlife than shoot them off of his back porch, which I can appreciate. I'm sure a lot of you can too. We're actually going to head to the Dragon today. So I didn't ride. You guys know I didn't ride. But we are going to head over from here and go drive the Tail of the Dragon because I want to see. I want to see it, right? It's something that, something that we all want to do as motorcyclists. Well, at least most of us, I think. And it's only an hour from here to get there, so we're gonna go and we'll see you on the road. All right, we just started the Dragon, and I will say that this double-sided motorcycle is a lot more toasty than the two-wheeled variety that I have at home. I thought there would be like some kind of like, I don't know, hub there or something, kind of like this grand entrance, but no, it was just a sign that says you're probably gonna die here if you don't be careful. It says motorcycle high crash area. And a sign forbidding trucks, but next 11 miles is going to be just like this. I'm hoping that we can see some turnoffs to see some of the overlooks and whatnot. Verity is looking forward to it. Look at that. Oh, that was the biggest smile I've ever seen. My dad is driving his Dodge truck. His name is also Mike Branch. And
Mike Branch rides.
And he rides horses. Mike Branch rides horses. This is not something I would want to do in icy conditions or even wet conditions necessarily. Look, will you look at this?
Look at all the black marks.
Look at all the black marks. That's it. That's it. I can't wait to come back in better weather. Like I said, not the cold. It's the potential for the wet and ice that big turn on. I prefer living for a little while longer at least. We stopped at this scenic overview and we could hear this car coming for a while, and our boys got this McLaren up here. Look at this thing, man. It is a nice car. You could smell the tires. He was going pretty good. I would say like my dad suggested, he probably wants to go ahead of us in the Dodge 1500 truck. So oh, he's out of Florida too. How about that? Nice. A little something for everybody. I guess this is the time for cars because motorcycles are probably avoiding this time of year. Well, not on a motorcycle this time, but we made it. Started on the Tennessee side, ended up in the North Carolina side. We're still gonna ride through, get the Cherry Parkway, probably over to Robbinsville prior to that, and then yeah, beautiful day out. A lot warmer than I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be the 20s, and it's not. So maybe a missed opportunity, maybe it's not. Either way, I've seen exactly one motorcycle on this whole road, and it's parked on the other side of that truck over there. So clearly, motorcyclists around the country got the message loud and clear that this is not the best time to come through here. Well, I bet this place is hopping up here in the nicer weather, that's for sure. Oh, it's kind of nice being up here and there's not a whole lot of people, to be perfectly honest with you, because I don't think anybody likes a crowd. It's definitely not crowded. The wall of woe. Oh, look at this guy, like about to hit this car head on.
Yeah, he missed his turn.
Look at all this, on fire. See this upside down truck over here somewhere? Yeah. Trucks are no longer allowed on the tail of the Dragon. When I was talking to my buddy Jack, I was telling him this in the car. When we thought we were coming up here, I told him directly and I said, I'm not interested in pushing myself or my motorcycle to its extreme limits because I would rather just enjoy it instead of, look at this truck. Stop number 2 of the motorcycle destinations not on a motorcycle is the Cherahela Skyway, which I thought was pronounced Cherahala, and my dad said that they say Cherahela up here because of the Nantahala National Forest, and I'm a big fan of regional pronunciations. I just had somebody comment on a picture, hey, isn't that cheating? Not really, because there are probably more cars that go through these roads than motorcycles anyway. But it's been a good day so far. Up here enjoying the mountains with my family, most of my family, and my dad, who's, I guess by default, also my family. Yes, we're going to do the Cherahela Skyway and then hit up that side of Tennessee. We're in North Carolina at the moment, and yeah, we'll see you down the road. So my dad apparently comes up here on occasion. Nice little afternoon trip. So he knew about this Tellico Beach drive-in spot right here along the Tellico River. And blast from the past. It is cash and check only. So many places don't even take check, but this is cash and check only. He happened to have, my dad had $43 in his wallet, and our total for all of us to eat was $41.75. So perfect, superb. You can't get any closer than that. But that cute little place. The weather's not really the most ideal for a picnic, but it looks like that's what we're doing. For a minimum, we could get in the truck and eat, I guess. Not a bad idea. Well, are you on a horse? Oh my goodness, look at Memphis on a horse out there. Memphis, what do you think, man?
You know, it's not me.
Might be a little big.
You look at that. You hold on tight, okay? Okay, just making sure. Right out there. Oh, cowgirl. No, I don't want to pet you.
Now he's done.
Oh, now you're hamming it up? I was trying to get you out there trotting. There you go. There you go.
No, I'll do it, Dorito.
But he's kind of doing his own thing, ain't he?
I'm confused, wondering what I'm trying to tell him to do. I have no idea.
You guessed it. That's going to wrap this up. I probably should pick some new outro music because you got to start saying bye and see you later as soon as you hear the little doom, doom. Anyway, not a necessarily conventional style video for me, although we did have motorcycles for most of it. We ended up a lot of it, you know, in Tennessee, in a car with the family, doing family things over Thanksgiving break. And if you made it through all that, I really appreciate it. That part was a motorcycle, but still a part of my life. So I do appreciate you coming along for this video and for all of them. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Thank you.